pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to the October 9, 2017 meeting of the Shawnee County Board of Commissioners. My name is Bob Archer. I currently have the honor of serving as chair of the commission and representing District 3 alongside Commissioner Shelley Bueller, who represents District 1, and Commissioner Kevin Cook, who represents District 2. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
First item of business, please.
Item 3, consent agenda.
Are there comments or questions on the consent? There were 8 items total.
I have none. I would move approval.
Second.
Motion made to approve the consent agenda by Commissioner Bueller, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item 4, new business. A, County Clerk number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Commissioners, this morning there are vouchers that total $1,358,803.93. The highlights make up of the payroll of $514,776.44, health insurance premiums of $274,439.36, and then an infrastructure payment to Bettis for $312,191.66. Those 3 categories make up the majority of the vouchers. I do not have any questions. I would move for their approval.
Second.
Motion made to approve the voucher report by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Item A2, consider correction orders.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made to approve the correction orders by Commissioner Bueller, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item B, Parks and Recreation number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C 335-2017 with SER Jobs for Progress National Incorporated to obtain a trainee at the community centers with the goal to improve job skills and provide work experience.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jess Rakestraw, Parks and Rec. This is a host agency agreement with SER National, who is funded by the Department of Labor. They place seniors that have low job prospects with host agencies and pay them for their hours worked as they work on developing job skills and work experience. So we would interview the trainee and place them, make sure they're a good fit, and then place them at a community center. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Have we been involved in this in the past?
Sort of. It was with the city, I believe, when we merged, and then we kind of acquired it. But we started fresh. We actually ended up hiring the gentleman that was with them, but I don't think officially we have. It was just kind of a carryover, and now we're trying to do it correctly, I guess, with the county. So.
Well, given a choice correctly is usually a good way to do things.
It had been a while, I will say that. So,
Okay.
But yes.
All right. Any questions, Commissioners, regarding the program? I'll make a motion to approve the contract.
I'll second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Archer, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you. Next item, please.
Item C, Public Works Solid Waste number 1, consider approval of emergency purchase request for a solid waste truck engine repair in an amount of $10,387.37.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tom Block with Public Works and Solid Waste. This is the solid waste item. As mentioned in the memo, we had a truck that had gone into some issues, and when we ran the codes, found out there were issues with the turbo and some DPF filter and DOC filter due to the timing of this and the trucks that we were down and we're short a mechanic at the time. We sent it out to have this work done to get the truck back on the road as quickly as possible. The work was performed by Hoyt's Truck Center, and we recommend it be approved and paid. If any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them.
Are there questions for Mr. Block? I know I had a request for public comment from someone in the audience regarding this and the next item on Public Works. So, come right up. If you would give us your name and
My name is Patrick DeLapp. I'm just a member of the public. I did read this and was preparing more to talk about item number 2, but number 1, yeah, we probably need to redo it, but I'm a little concerned about the fact that we don't have mechanics available that to replace those things. Those 3 items aren't that difficult. The DPF, that's a filter which can be cleaned. I sent you a video this morning of how to easily clean them. It's an expensive item if you buy them yourself, and what your manufacturer does is just goes back, cleans them themselves, and resells them. They bolt on and off. To save some money, we should be spending more money on quality mechanics down there and having them know how to do it. Now, there is some contention about the computer programming, whether those all 3 devices aren't tied in to having to reprogram the computer, but that's a problem that's working its way through the courts. What they consider is it's software, it's proprietary, you can't own this, so we have to do it. Farmers are having the same problems. They can put the parts on the equipment, on their diesel tractors, then have to call somebody out from the manufacturer to program the thing. But that's only my contention. We probably have to do it, got to get these trucks on the road. But in the future, let's get people that can repair these stuff in-house. Thank you.
okay, thank you, Mr. DeLapp.
I'd respond to that, please.
Certainly.
What this gentleman does not know is that the vast majority of our filters are sent out to be cleaned. And he is correct, that it's about 1/3 of the cost as to replacing them. We do send them out to be cleaned, and they send them back to us and we replace them. However, to have the equipment, to use the chemicals that they use in the equipment and the machinery to clean them is extremely expensive. We have looked into this in the past. We think the payback would be about 25 years. And that's with no maintenance and the training. So we have looked at this, and in the video we had sent, I'd spoken to my fleet manager. That is not, from what we could gather from in discussing this with the manufacturer of these types of things, that is not a good way to clean them, because my understanding, when you get a bunch of water in them and then you put these filters in and they heat up to about 1,400 degrees, it can cause some pretty serious damage. So we don't believe that's the proper way of doing it. So we have looked at it that way. We believe what we're doing is the best. In this particular case, as I mentioned, we were down a mechanic at the time. That position has now been filled. It is true. There are some things that they have not been trained on, because we send the vast majority of these filters to be cleaned. So in any event.
If I recall correctly, it's difficult to find good mechanics.
It is.
Is that correct?
That's very correct.
In today's market?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It is.
I did sort of remember that. Commissioner Cook?
Tom, if I hear you correctly, you're telling us that you do try to keep as much in-house as you can, but if there's specialized equipment or if there's things that you deem are better served by having them outsourced, you do those things.
Yes, and right now, yes, that is correct. And speaking of mechanics, yeah, we are still short mechanics. We've got basically 4 for 42 trucks. That is a lot less than we would like to have for that amount of fleet. So we do what we can when it comes to solid waste trucks, and we know the issues we've been having with the fleet, which is the next item. When it comes to solid waste trucks, those have to get back on the road as quickly as possible. And in this particular case, that was the decision we made, and we feel it was the right one.
Very good. Other questions or comments?
I move to approve.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Bueller, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
C2, consider awarding the bid for 7 rear-load refuse trucks to Elliott Equipment for International brand trucks in an amount of $793,382, including extended warranty and trade-in allowance, and approval to purchase an additional truck from Elliott Equipment at the unit bid price of $170,766, making the total award $964,148.
Commissioners, Tom Block, again, Public Works and Solid Waste. This, too, is a solid waste item. As mentioned in the memo, we went out for bid to replace 7 of our rear load refuse trucks. We received 4 bidders submitted bids, and they had 8 separate bids. There was one vendor that submitted several different bids for different types of vehicles. We evaluated them, and it is our conclusion that the lowest and best bid was submitted by Elliott Company for international trucks. As mentioned in the memo, we're requesting that we be able to buy an additional truck, make it 8 from them, so that we would have a reliable backup, and that would actually may have helped essentially like solve the issue that on the previous item, that we wouldn't need it back so quickly, the trucks would back quickly on the road if we had an additional backup truck. The budgeted estimate for this request originally was $1.1 million. It came in at just under $800,000, and that would give us room in the budget to purchase one additional vehicle. So that is our recommendation. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them. And again, this would be coming from the Solid Waste Fund, which again is all user fees, and so there would be no impact or no tax monies used for this purchase.
Questions for Mr. Block before we hear from Mr. DeWitt?
Hi, Patrick Lepp. I've got some handouts, if I may approach.
Certainly.
Okay.
We like handouts and T-shirts, too.
Mr. Leff, if you have an extra copy for the clerk.
If that's you, said that.
Yeah, it is. Okay, I get it afterwards. Basically, when the trash truck caught fire, I did look at the video of this thing, and I don't know if a quality fire investigation report was done or not, but I can say with about 95% certainty that the fire was caused by hydraulic failure. When a hydraulic line breaks, you know, you're talking about 300 to 10,000 psi. At that higher pressure rate, it atomizes. It can set on fire very easily. It can be set on fire by the DPT, the filters, basically the catalytic converter on it, which they use another name on it, things like this. It is extremely explosive and flammable. I noticed that it kept on burning with the same veracity as when it first started, until it ran out of fluid. Well, I'm assuming it's that. Which you may not know, which many people do not know, there are less flammable hydraulic fluids out there, and the sheet goes into a name of a few of those things. There's a high water-based fluid, water in oil emulsion, water polymer glycols, and synthetics fluids. They are available through 2 different companies in town. It would entail purging the system. You put little balls inside the hydraulic lines, push all the hydraulic fluid out, and then put it in. Now, there's some, the water-based ones, you don't want to use that outside. That's for indoor use, because you got a freezing problem. The biggest problem with these things is you got to talk to your pump manufacturer to see which one is compatible with the pump they're manufacturing. And I'm not talking about International. International doesn't know. The person who manufactured that hydraulic pump on the piece of equipment. I also have concern how did that hydraulic hose break, rupture? Did we replace it once before and used a shoulder hose that put it closer to a heating source, which damaged it? Do we not put a shield back on there? Did we not inspect the hoses and see if they're fries or if they're damaged, things like this? Or do we just wait for a hose to break and then replace it, which is the absolute worst thing you can do? Rumors have been spread around, it's gremlins in the equipment. Well, not gremlins. Another rumor says, well, it was antifreeze that caused the fire. And, well, antifreeze is flammable. It does have a flash point. But you never use straight antifreeze in any equipment. You shouldn't. It's always mixed with water, typically 50% in our automobiles and trucks too. At that rate, it's basically impossible to set that stuff on fire. What I think should happen, which, you know, we got a good price. This is much better than I thought on it. But increase the level of maintenance too. Did we get a quality report? And if it's the hydraulic fluid, you know, because when it catches on fire, we're talking about potential loss, well, loss of equipment definitely, and possible human life. All right? Look at using a non-flammable hydraulic fluid. Stand for questions if you got any.
Commissioner Cook.
Thank you, Mr. Lapp, for the discussion, but I think this is our third fire that we've had with this brand of truck, and I think that our thought is to move away from this brand of truck so that we can maybe hopefully eliminate the issue from reoccurring. We've had litigation in the past, and again, when we talk about the safety of our employees, putting the safety employees first, and maybe just having a different style of the vehicle, and I think that was the discussions I've had with our Tom Block for solid waste.
Big question. You mentioned litigation. Has an investigation take place? Was maintenance previously performed and not done properly on them?
Well, when we get into the litigation issue, anything that with this most recent one, I don't know that it's proper to comment on, given that it's maybe county councilors to my
It's
right.
on, litigation's ongoing then?
Correct, yes.
All right. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Other comments or questions for Mr. Block or Mr. Dematt?
I have none. I'll move approval and award the bid to Elliott Equipment.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Bueller, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you for your participation this morning. Next item, please.
Item D, Sheriff's Office, number 1, acknowledge receipt of correspondence from Sheriff Jones regarding his intent to purchase 84 16-gigabyte RAM sticks for the mobile data terminals in the patrol cars at a cost of $9,744 with funding from the 2017 budget.
Good morning, Commission. Phil Bloom, Under Sheriff, Shawnee County Sheriff's Office. What we have before here is when we're going through our upgrade through our software system, our New World system, found our mobile data terminals have got some memory deficiencies. This is the way we're improving that on our end. We don't necessarily need to replace the mobile data terminals. This is an upgrade for those that I believe we have roughly 81 in our overall agency fleet. So that's to upgrade the memory to be more compatible to address all the changes with New World.
Are these are memory sticks to plug in?
My understanding, and part of this, I apologize, that we had some conflicts on our side. There was somebody else who was supposed to present the information to you, was not available, so I'm just going to doing this.
You got back up here.
Yeah. Mark.
Hi. Yes, they're memory sticks. Currently, the MDTs have a single 4-gig stick in them. The manufacturer's requirement for the new software is 8 gig. There wasn't a huge savings just to go with 8 gig, so we've decided to go with 2 8-gig sticks per MDT. So it's a 16 gig pack, which is 2 8-gig sticks.
I guess I'm a little confused. I looked at this contract, and each stick was to cost $116.99. And then I went on Amazon this morning and found 64 gigabyte sticks, 2.0 flash drives for on sale $15.99.
That's a flash.
Are these special? I guess.
What you're talking about is like a USB
Right.
flash drive.
Exactly.
This is actually a computer chip that goes directly into the motherboard. It's a special configuration.
Okay.
So it's a little different than a USB flash drive.
Okay. So it is very specialized, and this is a reasonable amount to pay for these.
Yeah, this was the lowest we could find.
Okay.
We checked around, and for the different types, this was the best cost we could find.
Very good. Other questions for Mark or the undersheriff?
And I'll move to acknowledge receipt.
Second.
Motion made to acknowledge receipt by Commissioner Bueller, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed, say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item D2, acknowledge receipt of correspondence from Sheriff Jones regarding his intent to purchase a new covert transmitting and receiving device for the narcotics unit at a cost of $5,720 with funding from the 2017 budget.
And Commission, this is an item that we're just basically looking at upgrading some equipment in our drug enforcement unit. We haven't done so in a while, but this is just more for some of the operations that are performed in there, just to upgrade some equipment.
Questions for the undersheriff? I'll make a motion to acknowledge receipt of the correspondence.
I'll second.
Motion made to acknowledge receipt by Commissioner Archer, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you for being here
Thank
this
you.
morning, Undersheriff. Good to see you. Next item, please.
Item 5, administrative communications.
This is your opportunity to speak to the commission and the public.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kellen Seitz, Kansas Expo Center. I just wanted to give you an update on events coming up to the arena this week and the property. We have GardenWise Professional Gardening and Landscaping Vendor Event. That is a private event for vendors that's going on this week. USD 501 College Fair will be taking place on Thursday. Hopefully we'll be helping some students make some choices on where they're going to spend their college years in the coming year. The Gym and Rental Show will be taking place in the Ag Hall this weekend. Roadrunners are back this weekend as well with their continued Breast Cancer Awareness Support Week with Pink in the Rink and Washburn University discounts there as well. And then just a reminder, Harlem Globetrotters will be going on public on sale on Friday at 10 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. Anyone else this morning for administrative communications? Commissioner Bueller.
I do not have anything
Nothing?
this Monday, no.
Okay. Commissioner Cook.
If I remember right, this upcoming Saturday, I know it's still a little bit off, is at the Expo Center, the electronics e-drive. I'm looking at Tom Block and making sure that it's this Saturday at the Expo Center.
Commissioner Tom Blanc with Public Works and Solid Waste. Yes, that's correct. It's October 14th from 9 to 1 in the parking lot of the Expo Center.
So this is a great opportunity if you have broken or unused electronic items and you'd like to get them recycled. And then if it's TVs, there's additional.
Yeah, most everything is free, but there's a nominal fee. I think around $20 or so, maybe $20 to $30 for certain sizes of televisions. So, but most everything else, if it has a cord, it would be free for collection.
But if you have a working 8-track, I know John and I are still looking for it.
Oh, my.
That's all I have.
Commissioner Bueller.
Well, actually, I might have a question of Curtis Sneeden. I see him in the audience. I know that the Shawnee County delegation usually meets first part of December. That date has been set. Is that correct? I saw
Thank you, Commissioner Curtis
Fred, sorry to
Sneeden,
put you on the
Topeka
spot,
Chamber.
but I saw Fred the end of last week, and I think he said it was coming up.
It is scheduled, and it is on December 4th.
Okay. And that's the day that Shawnee County delegation just
They
has everybody come and present their issues.
Exactly. They assemble over at the State House, and then there are 15-minute blocks of time throughout the day, and various groups from around town go. And
Chair this year, do you know?
I believe Mr. Alcala is lining all of that up. Yes, ma'am.
All right, good deal.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Curtis. Thank you for being here, too. All right. Again, thank you, Mr. DeLapp. I think the more we hear from the public, the better decisions we make. So I appreciate your comments this morning. That's all I had. Next item, please.
Item 6, executive session.
There's not a need for an executive session, so we're officially adjourned. Have a good day.